everybody. Starting out overnight hike at Unicoi Gap. Hoping to get in 10 miles today. It's probably about 26 degrees out here. Just getting ready, putting on my boots, getting all my equipment together, and I'll show you where I'm going to try to go in a few minutes. Somewhere up there. Look at those clouds, how fast they're moving. It's pretty windy out here. Let's see what kind of battery life I get with the weather being so cold. It tends to affect the batteries. All right, more to come. Alright, stopping for some lunch. It is cold out here. My hydration tube is basically freezing. So I'm back to the Nalgene here, which is not freezing. I don't think it's cold enough to freeze that. So worst case, I'll just pour the water out of my hydration bladder into the Nalgene, and I think I'll be okay. I am concerned that inside the backpack, I don't want that filter to freeze, because if that freezes, then that's bad, because I think it damages the filter if it has frozen water inside of it. But I don't think it's going to freeze inside the backpack. I think it's more that on the outside, this tube, it has very little insulation, so that's freezing. So that's why it's good, even if you have a hydration bladder, you should bring a water bottle, because you don't know if that's going to freeze up on you if you're hiking somewhere where it's cold. I'm also stopping to have some lunch, and here you can see my Hill People kit bag. I'm going to do a review on this because I get so many questions about it. And it's basically a chest-mounted pack, as you can see, and inside of it I have all kinds of stuff, including what I'm going to eat for lunch. I don't eat a big lunch when I'm out on the trail, but I like to stop for 20 minutes or so. I'll probably stop more since I'm doing video, but you got to refuel during the middle. I don't like to eat a big heavy lunch and get out all kinds of stuff and cook and whatnot, just because it takes a lot of time, and I don't want to be full and then put on a backpack and go hike another 5 miles. That's not great. But I'll give you a view of the surroundings here. It's amazing. I've never been out here when it's been snowed over like this, so this is a totally new experience that I'm sharing with you. Totally new experience for me, certainly, as a Floridian. Hopefully I'll get some good views of the tree line, or good views without the tree line in the way. They don't appear to be as many of them. I see some people on YouTube who are doing the AT, and I think they're north of where I'm at, and maybe the mountains are taller, but they have a prettier view. But we're not done yet. I think there are some better views along the way. Thing that you have to keep in mind when you're out here is that the temperature is going to change. So this morning it was in the mid-20s, and then it's about 1:30 now. So the sun's been out, it's warming up a little bit. So you can see I've lost the beanie and the neck gaiter, and I've also taken off my gloves because I don't want to sweat through those and render them basically useless. So another thing is that you're going between mountains, and you're going on the wind facing side of the mountain, and also the side that is away from the wind. So while it might feel like you're getting warmer, as soon as you come around and you're on the wind facing side, you're right back to being cold again. So differentials in temperature, and you need to take off equipment to make sure you don't sweat through it. So here's a great illustration of what I was just saying. You can see back here, it doesn't look as snowy or as if there's been as much snowfall. Now if I pan to the left, you can see completely different. And I can also hear and feel the wind coming up from this direction. So when the snow came in, it was on this side of the mountain. But this side over here is not exposed to the wind, so it didn't even get much snow. So now that I just took off my beanie and my neck gaiter, we'll see how cold I get. Hopefully if I keep moving it won't be too uncomfortable. That looks awesome. Two different worlds. made it. It's about 4:45. I started at about 9:45. So you do the math. Been out here a while. Taking the video added a lot of time, but I'm very happy with what I got out of it. It was probably about 10 miles. I'll annotate this to determine exactly what it was when I look at my map. I've done this hike before. I'm pretty cold. The wind has been on my face, and I've never even experienced this, but I'm having trouble speaking if you hear my voice, but I don't feel like I'm too cold. I just think it's, usually when I got here, I get windburn. I usually get, you can see my face is probably pretty red. And I don't know what it is. It might just be that my face muscles are cold or that I've got windburn on my skin, but it's definitely unusual. But I'm gonna put on some warmer clothes, put on a jacket, put on some better gloves, and make camp, because one thing that I have learned is that you don't want to delay putting up your tent a lot, because it could change in terms of the weather. I've had that happen to me where I get to my campsite and I start messing around, and then the weather goes bad and I'm trying to put up a tent in the rain, so that's not good. As the sun begins to set and the light diminishes, I focus on getting my gear set up in my tent and bracing for the drop in temperature. I also work to heat up some food to regain some of the energy I expended during the day. In the next video in the Ice on the Mountain series, I'll go into more detail on how I hunker down as a cold night approaches. Stay tuned, and please like and subscribe.